Is your engine feeling like it is literally choking to death, losing power? Or maybe you have noticed your exhaust glowing cherry red after a drive. That is a scary sight. And if you have pulled a trouble code P048A, you need to pay attention right now because this is not something you can ignore. This code tells us that the exhaust pressure control valve A is stuck closed. Think of this valve like a throttle body, but instead of controlling air coming in, it controls exhaust getting out. Manufacturers, especially on turbocharged gasoline and diesel engines, use this valve to purposely block exhaust flow. Why would they do that? Well, in cold weather, restricting the exhaust increases back pressure, which helps the engine and coolant warm up much faster. It is actually a clever system for cold climates. But here's the problem. If that valve gets stuck in the closed position when the engine is hot or trying to make power, you're essentially plugging a potato in your tailpipe. The engine cannot breathe, temperatures skyrocket, and performance tanks. The computer, or PCM, usually activates this only once per ignition cycle when it sees cold intake air temperature. Once it is done, that valve should park wide open. If the computer sees that the valve is still closed or the sensor reports it is out of position, boom, you get the P048A code. Diagnosing this requires a bit of detective work. First, clear the code and take a quick drive to see if it comes back immediately. You'll want to check if you have any other codes related to coolant temp or intake air temp, because if the computer thinks it is minus 40 degrees outside when it's actually 80, it might be commanding that valve closed when it shouldn't. If the sensors are fine, you need to get under the hood. Look for the valve and the wiring. Are the wires melted or broken? If the wiring looks good, you're going to need a digital voltmeter. You need to verify if the valve is getting the correct power and ground signals from the computer. You might need a scan tool to command the valve on and off to test this. If the electrical signals are good, the valve itself might be mechanically seized or the motor inside it is toast. Sometimes you can use an infrared thermometer to check the exhaust temps before and after the valve to see if it is actually restricting flow. Do not let this one slide because excessive back pressure can damage your turbo, overheat your engine, and ruin your transmission.